And we should be live. But I never know. Like, I really wish I had a way to do this better. Oh, yeah, muting my phone. Okay, I guess we're live because I just received a notification that I am live. Yay! Alrighty, so as usual, I'm gonna wait a few minutes to make sure that everyone receives these notifications and people can join us. And yeah, I don't see the stream just yet, so yeah. Okay, now I see the stream. So I should be able to see your comments in the chat any second now. At least now I prepared a little bit and I made the Instagram post before I started the stream. There's some message from YouTube. Apparently they have some new features in the chat. Good to know! Alrighty, I can see the chat. Okay, so as usual, I'm gonna read a few comments while waiting for everyone to show up. Let me know if you can hear me properly, because last time I kind of messed up the sound settings, so the music was louder than me, basically, for almost the majority of the stream. So I really tried my best this time, so I hope it's alright now, but if the music is too loud or if you can't hear me, please let me know in the comment section. And also if there's anything wrong going on. Like, I think like 3 or 2 streams ago, there was a glitch going on or something. Like my phone was too close to the laptop and you could hear every time I received a message. And it was just horrible. So please, if there's anything wrong, just let me know in the comments, because I can't hear if anything is going wrong, so I'm just here focusing on drawing, and I'm just hoping that the stream is alright. So yeah, now I'm gonna look at the comments and soon I will start drawing. Sanchez Knights, this I, hello. Anonymous says hello. Weezy says yay. GD Manga, hi, how is it going? Hi, nice to see you here. Oh, it is pretty late here, so I apologize to all of my European viewers or people who are in other time zones. If it's late for you, I'm sorry. Sanchez, nice, let's draw. Well, I'm waiting a few minutes, as usual, and then I'm gonna start drawing because I have quite a few things to draw, and this stream won't be too long, like 2.5 hours, because I will have a meeting right after this, so I will have to cut it when the time comes. Savage Beers, hello Sunny, hello, nice to see you here. Naftali Albert, hi, it's Tali, hello Tali, nice to see you here. I love anime and VG too, hiya, hello. 99 Violence, yes, made it, yay, nice to see you here. Sanchez Nice, don't forget to add to keep the chat clean. Yep, thank you for reminding. So guys, yeah, if you're just talking to each other, just use the @ so I know that I don't necessarily need to read that comment, because it is meant to be a conversation between you guys, and it makes my thing so much more easier, because I'm trying to draw it, but at the same time I'm trying to keep up with the comments, and right now I'm doing this alone, so yeah, I don't have anyone to help me with the comments, so yeah, that makes it easier for me. Zayef illustration, oh hi Zayef, nice to see you here. Hello, hello, I take it you're back in Canada? Nope, I'm still in Hungary. As you can see behind me, you can see my mom's living room, so not really my ideal stream environment. Like I'm literally drawing on a kitchen table, so it's not really a studio setup. But you gotta work with what you have, and hopefully in about a month, maybe a tiny bit more, but hopefully before the holiday season I will be able to go back to Canada and we'll be able to do more streams and more videos more frequently. But until then, I'm just gonna embrace my Hungarian roots here. Oppose Artworks, hello, hello there. Think Slicer, hey, how's life been? Oh, busy, very, very busy. Immigration is no joke. It's a lot of hassle, a lot of paperwork, and yeah, I've been working a lot ever since coming back to Hungary, so I didn't really have time to focus on art. Plus, for like the next 2 months, I had one of the worst, if not the worst, art block of my life. I made some posts about this on my Instagram, but yeah, for the last 2 months, I really wasn't able to make much of a progress on my art, and I kind of lost motivation for certain things and stuff like that. So I've been going through in some emotional ruts and downs, and yeah, it wasn't the best 2 months. So yeah, I think I'm starting to get over it now, and that's why I really wanted to do this stream as well, because doing these streams really helps me, like being able to talk to you guys, and drawing is something you do by yourself. It's not really a social experience, but doing it in the form of live streams brings me a little bit closer to my audience, brings me closer to you guys. So it is always an emotionally uplifting thing to do these streams, even though it's super tiring and stressful. But at the same time, it charges up my batteries. At the same time, it kind of drains my other batteries. So so yeah, it's been a while. Okay, so I can see we have quite a few people now, so I'm just gonna catch up a little bit with the comments, and then I'm gonna start drawing, because yeah, time is ticking. Rerun ransom. Hey, is this real live? Yep, we are live. Sanchez Knight's tablet review when I just need to finish up the artwork for my tablet review, and afterwards it will be ready to go. I'm really hoping to wrap it up this weekend. Like, I will have tomorrow off, so I should be able to finish up the artwork, and hopefully the video as well. Of course, the video will go live first for my Patreon supporters, and after several days it will be open for the public as well. So if everything goes well, the tablet review should go live sometime by the end of next week, probably the weekend, maybe Friday. I'm not sure. We will see, but I'm super close to finishing it up. So very soon, and if things go well, there will be some other reviews coming as well. So stay tuned. Dink Slicer, long time to see. Sanchez Nice, don't worry, Sunny, we got you. Keep making art and keep that passion. Yep, I'm trying my best. Harukami Art, hey everyone. Oh, hey, nice to see you here. It's always so fun to see the familiar faces from Instagram and other social media channels. 99 Valence, driving a double-edged sword for Sunny. I guess. Zape illustration, what setup do you use to shoot your streams? Like, what microphone and light do you use? Well, for the light, I have my mom's fancy chandelier above me. And I don't have any microphone. Like, what I'm using is a Logitech. Let me check, I can't remember. Logitech HD webcam C615, yeah. So that's the webcam I'm using, and I'm using the microphone of this webcam. So this is the most basic setup as you can get. Like, I don't have anything fancy. It is really just something that's easy to carry around and easy to set up. I really hope to invest in a better microphone in the future, and hopefully some proper lighting and some better equipment, because I really want to do more streams and in a more professional setup. But like I said, right now I'm in Hungary, so I gotta work with what I have. Obviously, I don't have all of my stuff with me, and yeah, I gotta make this work from my mom's kitchen. So this is it. Okay, so before I continue with the comments, I'm gonna close this because I don't need this anymore. As soon as Clip Studio is willing to cooperate with me. And save. I'm gonna open up a new canvas. Do I want landscape? Nope. I don't think I want landscape. Okay. There we go. So in this stream, I'm gonna be drawing requests from my Patreons. So I already know which characters I'm gonna be drawing. I think there will be 4 characters, I think. So I already have the pictures saved and everything. I'm going to be doing refined sketches because that's faster. Probably will only do headshots to keep this faster. Yeah, if by the end of the stream we still have time, then I can be drawing one of your requests. So don't put in requests just yet because I don't know if I will be able to finish up everything properly. But we shall see. I will try to be fast. So I'm going to be opening up a reference image here. So the first character I will be drawing is once again a character I have no idea about. Okay, so here we have this gentleman. I'm gonna put the reference image to the side so you guys can see it and I can see it as well. So the only thing I know that this is Moriarty. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. From Fate Grand Order, I think. I'm not sure. I mean, there are so many Fates. I always wanted to get into Fate, but I just never got the courage to jump into something so huge as Fate. So yeah, I think the character is from Fate Grand Order. And once again, I have no idea if he's a good guy, he's a bad guy, what kind of character he is. So yeah, I'm just going to focus on drawing this image in my style, I guess. So this will be interesting. Nothing too fancy. So it's kind of hard drawing characters I'm not familiar with because, you know, if I know the character, I always try to at least capture the vibe of the character. But whenever I don't know who the character is, it's always harder to give it life. So I think, I mean, this character looks fancy as hell. I actually really dig the design. Like, it looks like, I don't know, some lord from the UK or whatever. So I think I'm going to try to capture this sort of majestic vibes. Or, you know, I guess he's like a nobleman or something. So I guess I'm gonna try to go for that. And we shall see if I'm able to do it or not. Are those butterfly wings on his cape or... Oh yeah, okay. That's interesting. That's a pretty cool design. So yeah, okay. So I will catch up a little bit with the comments and then I'm gonna continue. Let's see, Naftali Albert, Andrea, beside making your comics, is anything else that you do for Saturday AM? Yep. Well, first of all, I'm part of the core team of Saturday AM, so I'm basically one of the co-founders or co-owners of the company because I wasn't one of the founders. But later on, after my first year, I think, or sometimes in my second year, I became a co-owner in the company. So that actually comes with a bunch of responsibilities and meetings. So I'm taking part in a lot of behind the scenes stuff, a lot of communication, and some stuff that I'm not sure if I can talk about. So yeah, I'm taking part in a lot of that thing. Also, I'm responsible for creator outreach. I really can't English today. So I'm responsible for reaching out to creators that we take interest in and creators we think we might be able to work together with. So yeah, quite a few of our new creators came through that action of me reaching out to them. For example, one of our newest submit series, Codename Villain, which is awesome. You gotta check it out. I really love Codename Villain. I really love the art style and everything. So yeah, it was me who reached out to those guys. I'm establishing the meetings and gave information to these new creators and so on. And also part of being the one responsible for creator outreach was also doing the internships for the comic artists. So I was coaching a handful of creators for Summer of Manga, and now a handful of those creators are actually working on kickstarting off their projects in Saturday. I'm still working with some of these guys, and yeah. And there are some other stuff I'm doing, mostly behind the scenes stuff. Like you gotta know when you're trying to run a company and a business, not everything will be visible and not everything will be the fancy stuff. So there are a lot of tasks that I'm not necessarily feeling like doing, but at the same time someone has to do them. So yeah, a lot of it is a lot of reaching out to certain people, certain companies, a lot of communication, and yeah, I do a lot of stuff, especially when it comes to European creators, European companies, and female creators as well. And apart from that, right now I'm not doing that task, but this year for a few issues, I was the one who was responsible for getting all of the content from our creators, putting everything together so the designer team can work on stuff, also managing the work that I have everything from the designers. So basically I was putting everything together for the magazine with Raymond Brown, the creator bulleter, who's also like the MVP of the company in so many aspects. So yeah, there was a lot of tasks. Right now, since I'm in Hungary and I'm working full-time again, some of the days I can't really focus on, so right now I'm in kind of a hiatus from a bunch of my responsibilities, but at the same time they don't just go away, and there are a lot of things that we do apart from creating comics. Okay, let's see the next comment. Yeah, I really need to make some progress on this artwork, sorry. Harukami Art, yeah, finally had time to join one of your streams, glad to be here. Yeah, nice to see you here. Oppose Artworks, stay strong, Sai. You're doing a phenomenal job. Thank you. Also, the name is Sunny or Andrea. Saigami is my project. At this point, I guess I'm listening to Saigami as well. 21 got spawn. Any tips for writing and how to transition a long story I wrote to comic form? Well, that's quite a broad kind of question. Like, for writing, there are thousands of tips. Actually, the first thing that comes to my mind is read books on writing. For example, this year I read Stephen King's On Writing, which is partially a memoir of his, but at the same time it's also giving a lot of great tips on how to write things, on how he does things. So for me that was very, very educational. I really enjoyed reading that book. But yeah, there are a bunch of other stuff on writing, and read a lot if you want to write. And it's very important that not just comics. Like, you should be reading a lot of things, a lot of genres, a lot of anything basically. You can use everything to learn from it. And yeah, write, or at least try to write every day. And don't just settle with your first ideas, because it can be very tempting, and at the same time it's better to revise things. And yeah, transitioning things to comics, well, the two can be very different. For example, I picked up drawing comics, because I didn't feel like simply just writing things is enough for me. Like, I couldn't really capture what I wanted in just writing, so that's why I figured that maybe I can draw things. Is this mustache? Yeah, this mustache. So for me, the transition was kind of easy and kind of natural, because I felt like I'm more the visual type, so just trying to draw things was easier than trying to write them. At the same time, I guess it depends. I mean, a lot of different people have different methods on how they work on comics. Some people write scripts, some people don't. So it's a very, very vague question. Yeah, I could go on about this for an hour, but if you have anything more specific in mind, and I would appreciate if you would go with that, because it's just very hard. It's something I basically encounter on a daily basis. People just message me that, do you have any tips for art? And I'm like, yeah, thousands of them. But if I just start giving you the most generic tips, you won't get anything out of it, because I'm just gonna go with the most generic stuff that you can just get everywhere. So if you have doubts or questions, I think it's always easier to get a good answer and a good tip if you can ask for some specific details. Also, mustaches are hard to draw. And if you're new to the stream, okay, I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, no, okay. No, it's just my laptop was acting up. So what I do is basically I have my first sketch layer, which is a very, very rough guidelines. Then I have my second sketch layer, which is just the rough sketch layer. And I will have one more layer, which will be the refined sketch. So that's why everything is quite messy here. Okay, with the comments. Sanchez Knights, a snowball is 50 on Amazon. Look it up and see if it works for you. A snowball? Am I missing something here? I'm kind of lost in the comments right now. Harukami Art, how do you like Eden Zero so far? And did you read the first chapter of Heroes? To be honest, I haven't read Eden Zero in like 2 months. So that's kind of weird for me, because yeah, I usually read everything on a weekly basis as soon as they just are available to read. But I kind of stopped reading manga for a while during this art block and emotional down. So I'm not really caught up with a few of the series I actually did, and Eden Zero is one of them. At the point where I read the comic, I was okay with it, but honestly, it didn't hook me just yet. So yeah, I guess now I'm giving it a little bit of time, and I probably will just binge read the chapters and see where it is. I've seen a few people posting about the recent chapters that it was good and some of the characters had some good development. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading it. And it's just yeah, it didn't hook me enough for me to feel like I need to keep up with it on a weekly basis. But I really hope that it will capture me, because it's kind of funny because I had the same issue with Fairy Tail at first. Like I remember reading the first few chapters of Fairy Tail, and at first I didn't really enjoy it because it just felt too silly, and yeah, I just didn't like it that much. Probably because Rave had some pretty good drama and some heavy moments. I mean, Rave Master. And after that, Fairy Tail felt just a bit too silly. So yeah, I just didn't read it that much, and I actually started watching the anime for Fairy Tail like a few years later. And yeah, I really did enjoy the anime because I'm not saying it was high quality anime, but the music was really good, and actually it was the music that got me hooked. And yeah, I watched quite a few episodes, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm enjoying this. The music is really cool, and I like it. And the story was already in the Phantom arc for Fairy Tail, and I was like, oh my god, I love this. So it really took its sweet time to capture me, and then I started reading the manga as well, and yeah, then Fairy Tail became one of my favorite series of all times. Even though I know, it's not exactly high quality material. I know it's trashy. I know it has a lot of unnecessary fan service. But it is what it is. Auto saving, perfect. Yeah, I'm not sure if doing this angle was the best for this character. Like, my reference image, he's looking down, and I'm not even sure about his hair. So now I'm just putting them some very, very rough guidelines here. And I'm just going to refine things in my next layer as I go. But I'm not too happy with this. It shows that I'm a shonen junkie. Older men are hard to draw. But usually it's the next layer where the magic happens. So I have big hopes for my refined sketch layer. God, I don't know how the butterfly wing thing is going. So it's just weird. Or is it even a butterfly wing? Are there any Fate fans here? Let me know what the hell am I drawing here. I mean, it looks kind of cool. Like, this is something that looks like it would be a cool cosplay or something, but at the same time, what the hell? Oh shoot, yeah, I was in mirror mode. So here's the belt, here's that choker thingy. Here's the grass, and I probably won't go too much in details with the clothing here, because I don't want to spend too much time on this dude. Because I still have other characters to draw. Oh well, okay. I'm gonna lower the opacity, I'm gonna make this layer go away, and gonna do the next layer. Okay, but first, comments. I'm gonna catch up a little bit with the comments and then I'm gonna keep drawing. Grimheim says hello, hello, nice to see you here. Harikami are gonna draw a bit too by watching you, and some of my followers suggest Natsu really fired up to draw him. Oh yeah, that's cool. I always enjoy drawing Natsu. Harukami art, interesting design though. Yeah, I actually really dig the design for this character, it's pretty cool. I love anime and VG2 O Moriarty from FGO. So yeah, it was Grand Order. Alright. So at least I have one person who knows this character. That's great. I hope I'm not butchering him too much. I'm trying to do justice for the character here. Such a nice shout out from Vice Discord group. Oh shoot. The messages just keep scrolling on their own. Such as nice. When we Saturday have a constant schedule. It's kinda annoying reading maybe half a chapter from a series once a month at best. We actually do have a schedule. But of course we are giving our creators flexibility because everyone is doing something next to Saturday AM. So we're trying to provide a flexible schedule for creators. And the magazine always has content to read, but as long as Saturday AM is only a small company, we can't afford to provide a weekly schedule like Japanese people do. Like that will be crazy. But our creators are trying their best, and the magazine does have a schedule. Like during the summer months, we were going back to bi-weekly schedule, and right now we're on a monthly schedule. So it's actually pretty straightforward. So yeah. Opus artwork. Where do you usually look for talent at? Social media basically. Mostly Instagram. Yeah, mostly Instagram. Maybe some other social media, YouTube, Twitter. Yeah, recently I've been on Twitter a lot. But yeah, Instagram is usually the easiest to browse. So mostly Instagram. I reached out to a lot of people on Instagram too. Spade. Hello, Miss Andrea. Hello. Harikami Art. I'm still so surprised that you can speak German. Yeah, well, I grew up watching RTL 2. So I kinda just learned German. Like, I couldn't write anything in German because I had no idea about the German ABC. But, I still understand everything in German. I still know all of the German anime songs by heart. So yeah, that's my German there. But at the same time, I'm kind of having trouble speaking German. Like, I'm working in a hotel, so I'm still practicing my German there a bit. But I find that I'm having trouble speaking German because everything just comes to my mind in English. So it just happens that I'm starting to talk to someone in German, and mid-sentence I'm just throwing in English words or just switching over to English, and it's just the most awkward thing ever. Because some words are very, very similar in English and in German, and sometimes I'm not even noticing that I'm just, instead of und I'm saying and, or instead of oder I'm saying or, and things like that. So it's super awkward. Like whenever I'm speaking German, I really have to pay attention that I'm speaking German and not switching over to English by reflex. So yeah, I guess I got to practice my German a bit more. I think I will, because I just found out that Spotify has all of the German anime songs that I grew up with. So so yeah, that's super fun for me. And I bet for a lot of people from Germany or Austria, people who also grew up with these animes and shows. Hercumi art. Also, if you still want to do that art trade, let me know. Yep. We gotta work on that. It's been quite a while since we talked about it, but yeah, I really want to do it. So yeah, I'm just gonna shoot you a message and we can discuss the details. Because yeah, there are a lot of things I still want to do. Zoom in a little bit. It's not as tricky. I can see that what kind of shape it is, but at the same time, I'm not 100% sure about the shape from this angle. So I'm just trying to wing it as much as I can. Probably it would be easier if my reference image was a tiny bit bigger. But I guess I'm just gotta work with what I have. I'm not even sure about his brows. Like, are they super thin or not? No. I'm just trying. Okay, next comment. Such nights. So to interact with you more, Patreon or Discord? Well, my Patreon has the Discord reward as a benefit. So yeah, that's obviously a channel to communicate with me personally. Because on Discord there are several features like me reviewing artworks and giving feedback. That's also one of the Patreon perks. So definitely one of the easiest way to reach out to me. There's also social media, but I tend to get a lot of message on social media, so it's not always the best platform, especially not Facebook. I'm probably most active on Instagram and Twitter. If you want to reach out to me, but if you want something more like feedback on stuff, artwork writing, submitting requests, personal coaching, then definitely my Patreon is the easiest way and the way to go, basically. So yeah. 99 violence. Do you find drawing in line art though, or painting? Sometimes, yeah. Like, it can be kind of frustrating when you just have a great sketch, and when you do the line art, it's just a mess, and it just doesn't feel the same. So yeah, sometimes it's hard. At the same time, I always felt like I'm comfortable enough with line arts. Like I find inking one of my stronger skills, I guess. Definitely stronger than coloring skills. So that never really gave me that much trouble, luckily. But at the same time, I think I just prefer sketching the most. Because, with sketching you can go a little bit rougher. Plus, I really love this pencil tool I'm working with. So, because I'm drawing so much with this digitally, sometimes it's just so hard to switch back to an inking tool. Because I kind of like these softer lines. So recently what I've been doing is actually I'm using this pencil tool for my colored artworks as well. So yeah, I guess I'm experimenting with a lot of things recently. I did not post anything like that on my social media just yet, but I did upload a couple artworks on my Patreon that were colored and inked with this newer method, and so far I'm really liking where this is going. So probably will be one of my go-to methods in the future. At the same time, I might still experiment with newer tools as well, so we shall see. Now, here's the thing. I'm never sure how to draw characters with mustache. Like, should I draw the lips right underneath the mouth? The mouth right underneath the mustache, or not? Like, here you basically can't see the guy's upper lips. Of course, it's also because of the angle, so I don't know, it's just hard. Mustashes are hard. Yeah, I might be butchering this guy here. Kind of wanna give him like a colder stare. Like, I have no idea if he's a villain, but he kind of gives off like this threatening or menacing vibe, so I don't know. Is he a villain? Doesn't even know? Because I'm certainly trying to go for a villainous vibe here. Maybe this is kind of too narrow in my version. Yeah, a little bit. So making some small adjustments. Sanchez knows the snowball is a microphone. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Like, I think I looked into microphones like once. I think I watched a video. I think it was Jazza's video actually, on what kind of sound setup he's using or he used to use. But yeah, I don't really have much of a knowledge when it comes to speakers and microphone and cameras at all. So that's definitely something I will have to look into the future once I have the finances to update my streaming setup. Oops. Yeah, like I said, what I have right now is just a basic web camera with a built-in microphone. Harukami art, yeah, it really got better. Yeah, I think that, yeah, Eden Zero. Okay, that's really good to know. And I guess that kinda is true for Mashima's works in general. Like, Rave Master wasn't good at all in the very beginning. Like, it really needed time. I think, yeah, I really started to enjoy Rave Master by the time Z-Card showed up. And that was like, what? Maybe the 5th volume? 4th, maybe? So yeah, it really takes time for his series to pick up. So actually, I'm looking forward to reading more Eden Zero now. That sounds very good. Sanchez Knight's fairy tale are problematic. Well, nothing is perfect. Herkimer still need to read Rave. You got to, like, it's really good. I really love it. It's one of my biggest inspiration. At the same time, you know, it's Mashima, so you will see a lot of silliness and a lot of fan service, but at the same time, it's got heart. So, Natalie Albert, thanks Andrea. With Saturday, I'm accept a creator with a learning disability and have a day job. Of course, you know, Saturday is for everyone, from everyone. So, you know, we're not looking at disabilities or anything. So, you know, if you have what it takes to be one of our creators, you have a good story, you have the skills, then yeah, definitely. And the day job is pretty much what everyone has. Like, all of our creators who are not in school do have either part-time job or a full-time job. So, you know, comics are very hard to make a living off, so everyone is doing something else next to Saturday AM. So yeah, there's no shame in that. A lot of creators, not just the creators of Saturday AM, you know, a bunch of comic creators are doing something next to doing comics, because it's just damn hard to do as a career, and you get to have multiple irons in the fire. Haruka Yard, but the OST was lit. Oh yeah. Millie Comics, my favorite artist, is live streaming. I'm so happy. I hope you're doing fine. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm really happy to say that I'm doing better. I got over a lot of stuff, so now I'm back. I'm really looking forward to do more art and try out some new things, and yeah, I'm making some changes here and there about how I do things and how things are in my life. So yeah, I'm super happy to be here, even though this might not be my best live stream, because I still don't feel like I'm back in my A game when it comes to drawing. But you know, I'm trying. This is my motto for the week. I'm trying. And you know, I hope that you guys also enjoy the stream, even though it might not be, you know, super high quality or anything, you know, not the best equipment, not my best artworks. And at the same time, I hope that you find something that might be entertaining or inspiring for you guys, or you know, just having a good time. Because yeah, when I was thinking of doing this stream, I was literally just thinking that, you know, I just want to do it. Like, obviously I can't always do everything perfectly, but I really need to start doing things again, start doing live streams, start doing videos, and a bunch of other things. So doing a stream was a good way to start. Darkstorm, it's in my list, but have never watched, and I don't know anything about it. Fairy Tail or Rave Master? Well, I can recommend both. Although for Rave Master, I really do recommend the manga instead of the anime. The anime wasn't too bad. I mean, it's an old anime, so you know, a lot of censoring, a bunch of fillers here and there thrown in. Had some quality issues as well comparing to today's animation. I really like the opening song though. Like, the first opening still gives me chills when I hear that windy sound effect that kicks off the music. So that's not bad. Of course, the anime at least did things faster in the beginning than the manga, so there's that. Plus, the manga had. Let's just say that the artwork wasn't the best in the beginning of the manga. Like, it's just crazy to see where Mashima started with his art career. But yeah, after a while, you know, the anime stopped. Like, Raymaster wasn't fully adapted into an anime. It literally stopped where the manga starts beginning to be the best. So I'm still sour about the fact that my favorite scenes never became animated in it, because it could have been so well done in animation. So that sucks, but yeah, it is. But it is. Back in the day, it was harder to get an anime, I guess. Nowadays, everything gets an anime. But yeah, I really can recommend Raymaster. If you're into shonen and adventure stories with a lot of heart, And then yeah, remaster is really good. And Fairy Tail is also the anime Fairy Tail for Fairy Tail is okay. The OST is perfect and the voice acting is really good. Even in English, it's pretty good. So there's that, and now it's fully adapted into anime. So you can watch the whole anime. Although I still feel like the manga is still better. But the anime has the music, so there's that. Just, know that it's not perfect. It has a lot of plot holes. A lot of because friendship moments. But in general, it has a lot of heart, and it has some really, really great moments. Like, when the writing is at its best, it is really good. Okay, so now I'm drawing these butterfly wings, and I know I'm butchering this because I'm not gonna do the details properly. So I'm really sorry about that. But if I were to draw this entire butterfly wing, I will be sitting here all night. And since I have a meeting after this, I can't do that right now. I probably will go back and refine this later on. Or maybe not, I'm not sure. Like, I really like the design with these wings. So it would be super fun to do. But at the same time, I wish I had more time. Let's see. 99 Vegans. Oh yes, my favorite soundtrack. Thinking Madness really captures the feels in this. Oh my god, yes. I'm loving this song so much. Madness is really, really incredible. And guys, if you don't know, Madness is an amazing music composer. He has a YouTube. You can find a link to his YouTube channel in my channel, as well in the video's description. And yeah, he does a lot of music for this channel. Basically, every music I'm using on the channel comes from Madness, and a bunch of songs that you can hear during the streams come from him. And he also did a Saigami original soundtrack. So the characters have their own teams, and we have a Saigami main team as well. And it's just incredible. Like, I might be biased, but I am actually not, because these songs are just incredible. So please check him out. The soundtrack is up on Spotify. You can listen to it on YouTube as well. Or, if you would like to support Madness, which is highly recommended, you can get the album from Bandcamp or Google Music, and yeah, a bunch of platforms. So yeah, please check it out. Let's see. Salshock, hello. Fake news CNN. Lately I heard Donald Trump is coming to critique your art. Don't be nervous. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure what's happening in the comments, but I'm just gonna ignore this. Hurricane Art, the German ops are best. Oh my god, yes! Like, the German Digimon songs are the best, period. And it's actually so funny because this is his argument my husband Peter and I are having all the time. Like, since he's Canadian, he grew up with the English dub for Digimon, and I hate that with a passion. Because I obviously grew up with the German version, and the German version adapted the Japanese songs for Digimon, but personally I think that hands down the German songs are even better than the Japanese. So yeah, this is something that we will never agree on, because for me the German songs are the best. And not just for Digimon, you know, for a bunch of anime. The German songs were killing it. Yes, I'm kind of butchering the shapes here. I'm mostly just indicating shapes and forms here. Not really executing them properly. Like I said, these will just be digital sketches. So nothing overly refined or fancy. Are those butterflies too? I'm just going to indicate. And now I feel like that meme guy that... Is this a bird? Looking at the butterfly? Because at first I thought those were birds. But I guess it's a butterfly. So I'm just gonna indicate a few. Probably butterflies here. Maybe birds, I don't know. Okay, let's see what do we have here. Yeah, I'm gonna put in a tiny bit more details into the wrinkles around his eyes. And then I'm gonna move on to the next artwork. Okay, comments, yeah. Multitasking at its finest. Welcome art, yeah, same for me in English. I would always lend you a hand if you want to speak a bit. Yeah, thank you. I might need to practice. Kenter Zero, hello. How are you doing? Sorry I'm late for the live stream. That's alright, you know, we're just getting started here, and you know, if you missed the beginning, you can always just go back and watch it later. Like, all of the streams are available after the stream is done. Well, not right after the stream is done, because you know, YouTube needs some time to process it. But the stream will be available to watch again a few hours after the stream is done. So yeah. Okay, I think I'm done with him. Yeah, probably not my best, but I hope that I did justice. So now I'm going to be catching up with all the comments, because I can see that there are a lot more that I can't see just yet. And then I'm gonna jump to the next artwork. Savage Beer Arts, needed this today. Matt is such a monster to me right now. Sunny cheers me up. Well, I'm happy if I could help you. And yeah, Matt is a monster. Kentaro Zero, I wish I could pay you money, but I'm kind of broke. That's okay. I absolutely understand, you know, not everyone can afford to support creators with money, but you know, there are a lot of ways to support creators, even if you can't support them financially. Like, you know, comment on their stuff, like and share them. And sharing is very important, because you know, you might not be able to support them financially, but at the same time you can help the creators you like to reach out to a wider audience. And you know, who knows, maybe someone will see the creators through your shares and comments and likes, and that way you can support the artists as well. So you know, sharing is caring. Kentaro Zero, and it's me from Twitter, by the way. Yeah, I recognize your name. You are so cool. Thank you. Darkstorm, I was drawing digitally for a while, but I was sketching in my sketchbook recently, and I tried to hit my undo button, then realized I needed to go find my eraser. Yeah, the struggle is real. Like, yeah, I was doing a little bit of sketching at work, And yeah, it was so weird. Like I wanted to lower the opacity on my sketchbook, and I was like, I'm an idiot. And yeah, I guess you just pick up habits when you're doing a lot of digital, so it's kind of hard to go back to traditional. And it is what it is. I guess I should be saving. I never saved this. Now that I've seen. Okay, so I'm just gonna save this. Yep, that'd be good there. Such as nice, traditional all the way. I'm not sure what happened there. Okay, saving. Okay. 99 violence. Mustaches are upper lip in anime. Exactly, and it's so funny because sometimes it just covers up the whole mouth and you can't even see the mouth at all. It's kind of fun. Grimheim, he is daddy material. I mean, yeah, I guess. I can see your point. Let's see. Kentaro Zero, my friend, is about to go into the live stream. That's nice. Kendriel Sindoni. Say happy birthday to my man, Nick Gurr. Well, Nick, happy birthday. Let's see. Kentaro Zero, love your art and remaster is amazing. Thank you. And yeah, remaster is really good. Okay, I think I have someone that I need to block here. Okay. Darkstorm, did you stick with the colors on your drawing tablet that were set out of the box, and were there any issues you had with it as far as colors go? I think, yeah, I just went with the original settings for the colors. Like, this tablet has like a 75% of RGB colors, so it looked nice to me. Of course, it looks different than it looks on my monitor. So I'm never sure what's the best setup for colors. But I'm just going with this, and whenever I'm doing colored artworks, in the end I can still adjust the curves and the colors a little bit. But yeah, I just went with the original settings. I did change the settings for the pressures a little bit to fit my preferences, but the colors I did not touch because honestly I'm not really sure how to set them properly. So yeah, there was that. Kentaro Zero, can't wait till volume 3 of Saigami. Well, thank you. I'm working on it. And yeah, hopefully it will be out early 2020. I really need to pick up my pace with it, but it's coming along, so please look forward to it. Grimheim, what's with these comments? Yeah, we had some weird comments that I figured out that some of them were basically nasty comments. These guys didn't comment, so I just hid one of the commenters. Yeah, I think he's trolling. Yeah, yep. Grimhind, we need mods. Yeah. I really need to work on that. Kentaro Zero, you're the best and thanks for talking to me on Twitter. Yeah, absolutely, no problem. I enjoy talking to people. I'm not the best at giving fast response or giving feedback or anything because I'm just very busy. But yeah, I'm doing my best. Natalie Arbor, that's fine. I can hear you, so your audio is good. I do want to work with Saturday AM, not as a full-time creator, but because I'm studying. But to be a speech therapist and I have a learning disability. That's a nice goal. And I wish you good luck. And you know, we always have positions open since Saturday AM, so you know, stay tuned. Especially for the future. 9 minutes, I leave for now. Have a great day ahead, people. Well, it was nice to have you here. Haruka Miura, did you know that Natsu's Japanese voice actor was born in Germany and he can speak it? Oh, really? I did not know that. That's fun. Kentaro Zero, I will talk to you again on Twitter. Alrighty. Okay, I'm gonna hide someone else as well. God, I really need to catch up on these comments. So I'm sorry, guys. Please bear with me for a few minutes. I will catch up on the comments because I really want to keep this chat clean. So yeah, I will need to catch up because while I was drawing, a bunch of trolls were here, and I'm really sorry if they are causing you any trouble. Let's see, Kentaro Zero, what's your favorite song? I have a lot of favorites. Let's say, of course, you know, they are changing as well. So yeah, if I'm going with non-anime related songs, I would say my favorite is The Kill from 30 Seconds to Mars. And if I'm going with anime or animation related songs, then my favorite would be Red Like Roses Part 2 from the Ruby soundtrack. Kentaro Zero on October 23, it's my birthday. Well, happy birthday in advance. Okay, so I'm just gonna scroll down because I can see a bunch of stuff here. Okay, I really need to deal with this. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I think I did hide those users. So I'm now will try to catch up with the comments properly. I'm very sorry about these guys. Next time I will try to assign someone as a moderator to make sure that someone will take care of the trolls and the nasty comments while I can focus on art. Because yeah, it's really hard to do it on my own, so I'm very sorry. Harikami art, oh my god, it's so bad, the English one sucks. The Digimon rap is the worst, to be honest. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, and I'm sorry if there are people who love the English version of Digimon songs here, but yeah, if you grew up with the German version or with the Japanese version, then that is just horrible. Kentaro Zero, I really never got into Digimon. The first seasons were really good. Like, Digimon is still a huge favorite to me. And yeah, I just love it. But I don't think I would have been able to get into Digimon if I was only watching the American version. Like, it's just, oh my god. Like, the Hungarian version of Digimon was basically dubbing the American version, so it had the American songs. And I'm not sure if it was the Hungarian dub just trolling, but they just changed the conversation. Like, whenever there was some serious stuff going on in the original dub, they were just making jokes in the Hungarian dub, and I'm like, you're literally ruining everything this series has to offer. And it was horrible. Salt Shock, it works the other way around too. I went like a month. I went like a month drawing digital only, and later I tried to control Z a pen and paper drawing. I was thinking, yeah, it's, you know, it just depends on the habits you're building up. So switching back and forth between digital and traditional can be super confusing. Darkstorm, I use an XP pen and my colors are definitely desaturated. Currently trying to figure it out. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I can see what you're talking about with the saturated colors. You know what I usually do is just adjust my colors later, a little bit. And of course, you know, I always just check the colors on my monitor screen as well to make sure that I see the difference here and there. Plus, most of the times I'm trying to work with the same palettes. Like, you know, I have the palettes for my characters and stuff like that to make sure that I'm using the same colors no matter what kind of monitor I'm working on. Okay, so I'm caught up with the comments almost. So in the meantime, I'm going to start up a new layer. I'm gonna close this. And before I start drawing, I'm gonna open up. Coop Studio is lagging so much. Another reference image. Or it will be 2 reference images here, I think. And now I feel really bad because I completely forgot the name of the characters I'm supposed to draw here. So this is a comic page from a webcomic. And I now feel really bad because I completely forgot the name. I think the kid was Hero. Like he's the hero. And he has a sock as a pet. And I think the sock had a name that was a pun for socks. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I can't remember. Yeah, now I feel really bad. I also can't remember what was the webcomic called. So if anyone recognizes this, please let me know. Because this looks like super cute and super fun. I didn't really get the time to look into this, but like I said, I'm drawing like Patreon requests, and this was requested from one of my patrons. So I'm going to be drawing this kid holding this sock. And I mean, it's super cute. It is very, very cute. And now this would be quite a challenge to include it into my style. I'm not even sure how old is this kid, but he's probably very young. And I just want to draw him holding this little sock pet in his hand. So I'm kind of going for the same setting as here in the reference artwork. But at the same time, the request said that I should be drawing them in like a happy way, like, you know, they are looking in the distance with a hopeful smile and gaze. So I'm gonna go for that. And once again, this is my very, very rough guide layer. Yep. I'm gonna make some small adjustments here. Because I kind of want him to look a little bit up, like in this direction. But at the same time, my artwork was kind of leaning to that way, so I'm making some changes here. Okay, and since this one's pretty simple, I might be able to do this in like 2 layers instead of the usual 3 layers. Okay, first, comments. Yes, I'm doing a lousy job today with these comments. And I'm sorry about that. Harry Gallo. I can't read today. When do you start drawing? If you're asking when did I start, well, I was starting to draw comics and manga when I was 14. So that was 16 years ago. I'm old and I don't like it. Oh, you meant like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm an idiot. So yeah, Darkstorm basically answered that she was drawing and now she's catching up on comments and will continue after. Yeah, thank you. Grid's Digimon is one of my first anime. Yeah, I think it is for a lot of us. I mean, it wasn't for me, but it was one of my first huge favorites. Like, Digimon was one of the reasons I started drawing. Like, I was always inventing my own Digimons and own characters for Digimons. Um, so yeah, it really got me into. I think I even started to do like a Digimon comic. I drew like 4 panels and then I just quit because I had no idea how to do comics. But you know, it was a start. Kentaro Zero, I'm sorry if I'm getting annoying. You're not. Don't worry. Natalie Albert. But I do want to be a creator part-time with Saturday AM because I love the message of diversity and I'm working on my own manga with focus on Haitian, I'm probably butchering this, sorry, culture and making people aware of the culture. That's great, and you know, that is absolutely the message we want to share, that people need to cherish their roots and you know, showing their own cultures and their own I'm losing my chain of thoughts here. But you know, you don't need to copy the Japanese model in order to create quality content. And we always tell our creators that you should draw and write about the stuff that you know, where you come from, what you experienced, your own life, and yeah, that's a great thing. So I wish you the best of luck with it, and keep working on it. Harukami Art, by the way, do you have any advice when it comes to drawing backgrounds? Because I suck at it big time and I know how important it is when it comes to drawing stories. Well, yep. First of all, whenever you draw backgrounds, you kind of need to get into the mindset that it's not just a background, or it's not just, you know, a canvas you paste behind the characters, but it's an environment. So you basically have to handle the backgrounds as if it was its own character. So understand that it is necessary, it's part of your story, it's part of your world. So yeah, don't feel like you're just forced to draw something you don't want. It's something that is necessary. And I found that it really does help. At the same time, what really did help me with the backgrounds was just breaking things down into shapes and lines. Like, sure, you know, looking at a house, looking at a complex background or environment can be very frightening, because you see all those lines and complex and everything, and you know, buildings have roof, statues, and you know, all sorts of things and details that we're not necessarily comfortable with. But at the same time, if you realize that everything is just a bunch of lines, then it suddenly will become easier. Use always references, and you know, you can trace backgrounds basically to learn how to break them down. Like, even today, a lot of comic creators, Japanese manga artists, use reference images that they just trace over. And you know, that's absolutely okay. I mean, don't trace artworks from other people, or you know, backgrounds from other manga, but you know, go out, take a photo of the kind of background you want to use, and you can trace over the photo and, you know, change the various elements. So make sure you're not just tracing one-on-one, unless that's what you're going for. Like, if you're going for let's say an environment, let's say your story takes place in Berlin, for example. I'm not sure where you're from in Germany, but let's say you want to draw a story that plays in Berlin, and you know, you want to draw a scene exactly as it looks in real life, then of course you can literally trace over everything to make sure that it looks as realistic as possible. We've seen that a lot in, for example, Death Note or Bakuman. that it literally looks like the real stuff. And of course, you can learn a lot from these kind of tracings and how to use references later on. And you know, you don't always have to trace, and you know, of course, it is recommended that you learn how to draw certain things in your own style and how to compose backgrounds. But I found that this helped me a lot to move forward uh, in a way how I approach the backgrounds, and you know, collect a lot of various reference images for foliage, for a natural environment, for indoor environment, and always rely on reference images, because if you just try to think up things from your memory, that will be harder because you won't be able to see the details, those lines that are building up your background, or even for objects that are putting together your background. So yeah, I actually plan to make a video on this. It's just a matter of time. Savage Mirrors. I have about 3 artworks I'm needing to finish up today. Of course, Inktober has to be a busy, cool month, and Inktober as well. Ah, yeah, Inktober is never easy. Kentaro Zero. Kentaro Zero is my pen name, a mixture of Kentaro Miura and Miyami Zero. I'm going to be moving to Japan in 3 years in Tokyo. Well, good luck with that. Grits, how do you find the balance between making the background not too realistic or different from the rest of the image? Well, I think it comes down to a sense of style a little bit. Like you need to understand what kind of style you have and what kind of background it will require. Like, for example, if you have a style that's more cartoony, then it's okay to go a bit more cartoony with your backgrounds as well. It's not necessary, but you know, you can skip a bit on the details and the complexity of the backgrounds. But you know, if you're drawing in a more realistic, more refined style, let's say something closer to, for example, Death Note or Bakuman or those series, then yeah, it's highly recommended that your backgrounds do match the style of your refined artworks. For me, with, for example, Saigami, my characters aren't that rendered, so I can skip a bit on the realistic aspects of my backgrounds, but at the same time, I'm trying to make it as realistic as possible with a lot of details. For example, if you think about the double spread backgrounds that I have in chapter 1 or later on in chapters, I'm putting in a lot of details into those artworks, but at the same time I make sure that it's not overly rendered. Like, I don't use screen tones that much. I'm mostly just focusing on the contrast, because even in my artworks, I'm not relying on screen tones and shading that much. So that's how I try to match my artworks and the backgrounds. You can often see it in webcomics that people just use like templates for backgrounds. You know, Clip Studio has a bunch of templates that you can use, or literally just copy paste like a school building. And I don't want to sound mean, but I think it's just lazy, and it looks so bad many times when you can see that someone has like a cartoony style or a not so refined style for the characters, and in the backgrounds you can see an absolutely refined, perfectly drawn building that is colored in a completely different style. And yeah, that's just I'm not sure how to phrase it. It's a little bit of laziness, but at the same time it's breaking the harmony of the visual I really can't English today. The visual experience. Yeah, I think I was trying to go for that. So yeah, and a lot of it comes down to experimenting. Like, yeah, just experiment. Um, Arkami Art, thanks for all the tips. Gonna try them out. Yep, you're welcome and good luck. Natalia Bert, because my parents migrated from Haiti and there's stigma and stereotypes to Haitian culture, but I want to change that mindset. But I have other topics that I want to bring awareness to with Saturday. That's great, and I really wish you good luck with your mission here. And yeah, I think it's very important to be aware that with our works we can convey a message. And of course, comics need to be fun. They are a form of entertainment, but at the same time, they can be a very strong message. So that's a great thing. Kentaro Zero, I'm part Japanese, but I was born in America. That's cool. That's great. Link Slicer, aside from Haikyuu, what inspires your art and characters? Oh boy, a lot of things. And the studio is auto saving, so I'm waiting. Actually, Haikyuu was an inspiration that only came for me later. Like I was already published by the time I started to read Haikyuu. I mean, Haikyuu started publication in 2012, I think, 2013 maybe. Like it's not that old. I think it's shoot. How old is Haikyuu? Maybe I think it's been running for 7 years now. Then 2012, yeah. By 2012, I was already very deep into my creation process. Like I already was published several times. I was already reworking Saigami because by 2020 I already not 2020 2012. Yeah, I can't English. 2012 was the time when I scratched everything I had for Saigami. Like I had 16 chapters and I just scratched it and I restarted it, and that's the Saigami you know today. So I took a lot of inspiration for my art and for my stories from a lot of places. For drawing, Naruto was a huge inspiration for me. That was why and how I started drawing comics. Also for stories. I took a lot of inspiration from animes I was watching, so say Digimon, it surely was a huge inspiration for me as well. You can kind of see that, like how I draw the creatures and dragons and stuff like that. Final Fantasy was a big inspiration for me. And a lot of anime manga that I was watching and reading at that point. Remaster surely was a huge inspiration. And not just that, but a bunch of novels and movies. The Harry Potter movies and books first mostly. Yeah, books mostly. Fantasy stories, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars. I literally tried to take inspiration from everything that I did like. And I also took a lot of inspiration from real life. Many of my stories are heavily relying on things I grew up with. For example, in Saigami, there's this military system, and it's basically touching the subject of the forced enrollment into this military system. That absolutely comes from my background as a Hungarian, because I grew up with stories about that, about military. My dad was in the army, my uncles were in the army, people I knew. My grandpa fought in World War II. He actually was a war prisoner for 3 years. So I grew up with a lot of crazy stories. and that was a huge inspiration for me. At the same time, one of my biggest inspiration for Sagami's story in general was the freedom revolution for Hungary. A little bit of history. It's about time for that event actually. So October 23rd is a national holiday in Hungary because that's the anniversary for our freedom fight or revolution from 1956. Back then, Hungary was part of the Soviet Union. You know, we were under um, Russian governing, and things happened. So I'm not gonna go into the details, but yeah, we had this huge revolution. And I grew up with these stories. Like, you know, many of my relatives were there. They lived through these events, and yeah, as a kid, I was fascinated that something like that happened in my country, and people were giving their lives in order to fight the government, to seek freedom, to um, to seek democracy and things like that. And that was a huge inspiration for me. So no matter what kind of stories I started to write as a kid, it was always something around the revolution, and it led up to fighting the power and realizing who's the people who are in charge. They are the bad guys and things like that. So yeah, I took a lot of inspiration um, from my Hungarian roots and the stories I grew up with as a kid. So yeah, and as for the characters, I also took a lot of inspiration from real life people, friends, family, people I just met randomly. One of the perks if you're a hotel employee that you meet a lot of interesting people. So yeah, I always try to walk with an open mind and take inspiration from everything. Okay, so I'm gonna lower the opacity, and I think I'm gonna do the refined layer on top of this first sketch. Because yeah, it's not too complicated, so I feel fairly confident that I only will need the 2 layers for this cute character. And I think I just remembered it's not a boy, I think it's a girl. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's a girl. Okay, so yeah. Next time I should do a better job memorizing the names and the characters. I'm very sorry. Let's see, I'm still behind the comments. Kentaro Zero, I got to go for a bit. I'm both on my Xbox and on my phone, and my phone's at 19%. I talk to you on Twitter later. Well, it was nice to have you here. And yeah, talk to you later. Aaron Johnson, hi, I'm sorry that I'm late. That's okay, it's nice to have you here, and you can always watch the stream later after we're done here. Savage Beards, visual composition is the word you were looking for, maybe? I think so, yeah, thank you. I had to write a paper on that recently. Oh, that sounds interesting. Grits nearly midnight here. Yep, same here. Ding Slicer, are there a lot of Hungarian comic artists and storytellers I probably wouldn't know about? I wouldn't say there are that many. I mean, we're a small country. But we have a handful of creators here. The thing is that the majority of Hungarian comic artists either only publish in Hungarian and they never get on the international level, or they only work on the international level and you have no idea they are Hungarian. Like, it just happens. You know, a lot of Hungarian people are abroad and, you know, doing amazing stuff. Uh, but you totally have an idea that they are Hungarian. um, I know that there are a few creators who are Hungarian who are working for, you know, bigger comic publishers like Image or I think I've seen Hungarian name at Marvel too and things like that. I don't know, I feel really bad because I should be able to tell you some names, but I just can't at the moment. Um, but yeah, you know, there are a few like famous Hungarian comic creators, and you know, we have our own Hungarian comic creator subculture here. Like, you know, there are awards given away every year for indie Hungarian comic creators, but it's such a small group actually. Like, you know, the country is small, but the comic culture is even smaller here. So yeah. Plus, you know, it's really just comics focused. Like the manga culture never really kicked off like that in Hungary. Like if you take a look at the surrounding countries, like well, not necessarily surrounding, but nearby European countries like Italy, Germany, France, the comic culture is just huge, and they have a market and subculture big enough for their own creators to, you know, make a living, and there's a need uh, for comics created in that country on the market. In Hungary, that's not a thing. Like you you barely can even buy comic books in bookstores anymore. Like, you know, a few years ago we used to have a lot of manga in bookstores, and you know, that was great. We had Naruto and Vampire Knight and some bigger series from Japan. And nowadays you can't even find them in the stores anymore because the companies aren't even printing them anymore. So it's just declining year by year. So it's kind of sad. So, you know, the majority of people who are actually creating comics try their luck abroad or online, or are just content with the smaller audience and, you know, just doing some self-publishing or smaller amounts of release, and they are just selling them on, you know, maybe festivals and stuff like that. But admittedly, I'm not that overly familiar with the comic market here because, yeah, I never really was part of that. But you know, we had some great creators, and right now what comes to mind is that probably the only artist whose name I know. um, there's this amazing creator called Gabor Molnar, and he took part in the silent manga audition, and he won several awards now. So now he's in a master class, and I know that he had several publications in Hungary as well. You know, most of them were like self-published, but there was also a comic publisher. They were trying to run a magazine, and you know, that was pretty cool. And his artwork is amazing. So yeah, there are Hungarian comic creators. Um, let's see. Harkami Art. I'm so much looking forward to this weekend because near my town is the Frankfurt Book Fair, and I go there every year. It's so much fun, and this year is official becomes manga anime convention. Oh, that's awesome! Like, you guys have some really amazing conventions in Germany, and I'm so jealous right now. Well, have fun. Rohiga, will you be coloring any of your line art today? No, sorry. Today is only going to be sketching because I still have one more request from my patrons that I need to be doing. And honestly, I'm kind of running out of time because immediately after this stream, I will have a meeting with the crew of Saturday AM. So, yeah. At the moment, I don't have time to color. But since I've been doing these sketches for the last two streams, it is very likely that in my next stream I will be doing some coloring. And you know, maybe that will be pretty soon because I have several artworks that I need to color. So stay tuned. Okay, I'm not sure if it's just me, but I'm getting some serious TK vibes for this character here. Maybe I was talking too much about Digimon. Comments. Sorry. Harukami art. But the best and the biggest reason for me to go there is that the Japanese publisher also presented book fair. Through that, I had a chance to talk to one of Mashima's director because Kodansha is there every year, and also they're gifting mangas on Sunday to visitors. And you can buy on Sunday Japanese manga at Shogakukan. It's booth for only €1, which is awesome. Oh my god, that's such a great deal. Okay, now I'm even more jealous. That's really amazing. Ritz, I found a copy of Naruto by Viz Media and it was strange to find it from where I am. Oh, well, you never know what you can find. Like, I remember a friend of mine, he found some manga at a flea market in Hungary. I think it was German Dragon Ball volumes, but you know, it was so random that you can see all this random crap and knickknacks at the flea markets, and suddenly there were a bunch of volumes of Dragon Ball, and they were like dirt cheap, so he got a really good deal that day. And yes, I'm cheating with the hands here. I'm sorry. Okay, zooming out a little bit. Too much, too much. And it's auto saving. Okay, so I'm gonna catch up with the comments. Harukami art. Also, the best which ever to me happened was to meet Mashima this year in person on my birthday and also got a drawing from him. Okay, no words can describe how jealous I am at the moment. Oh my god, that must have been awesome. You're super lucky. And so good for you. And I'm just gonna cry here silently. Okay. Naftali Albert, so Andrea, what skills are Saturday I'm looking for in comic creators? Well, obviously have the skills to be able to tell a compelling story, even with a shorter amount of pages. Like, that's something we always test with Summer of Manga. That, you know, many creators have the delusion that you have to tell your stories in like 700 plus chapters and be the next One Piece, and that's bullshit. And it's not even realistic. So we're looking for creators who understand this and can tell stories in a more compressed way, I guess, and understand what's the difference between being a fanboy and being a creator. Refine the eyes here a little bit because I'm not overly happy with them. And of course, be able to tell your story through your art. So visual storytelling is very, very important. We always take a look at sequential art because there are a lot of people who are great illustrators, but they don't know how to do comics. Like that is a very important difference. That just because you're good at art doesn't mean you're entitled to do comics, because there are a lot of people who just can't for the life of them tell stories in comic format, because comics are their own mediums, and that's also something you need to master. So yeah, plus you need to have a discipline. You will have to work on a lot of stuff if you're with Saturday AM. But yeah, in general, have a good story, have the good skills, and understand our mission. Be willing to work with us and meet the deadlines. Do the things that we ask from creators, be it promotional art or doing stuff on social media and things like that. So yeah, but in general, we're looking for talents who can do comics for us and share the same vision that we do. Let's see. Autumn Huerta? I'm not sure. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. Look at his cute face. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy how he turned out. She. I think it's a she. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna do a proper research next time. And I feel so bad because, yeah, I'm so sorry. Her coming art, he drew for Minatsu in the outfit from the Tartarus arc, which is my fave. Oh, that's so cool. Ding Slicer, what's it like working with editors and what do they help with you? Okay, so I'm gonna answer this question right away, but before I do, I'm gonna start working on the next artwork because I'm really running out of time, so this will be interesting. And for this one, I'm gonna open up a new canvas because I want to do a landscape. Because it will be actually 2 characters to make things easier for me. Okay, and I think it will be a pair of characters everyone is familiar with. So I'm just going to open up this reference image here. Oh shoot, I thought this would be bigger, but it's not. Okay. Let's go with the next reference image. I have a separate reference image for the characters. Okay, I guess this will work better. Yep. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna be sketching Kagome and Inuyasha. Nope, that stays there. Okay. So this will be fun because I'm a fan of Inuyasha. So finally, characters I know. Yeah. I guess Inuyasha was an inspiration for Saigami too. I mean, I'm not saying that I was such a huge fangirl, like, I was more of a Digimon fangirl than an Inuyasha fangirl. But yeah, Inuyasha was probably the first isekai I ever seen. Although arguably it's not an isekai because they just time travel, so okay. But yeah, the part that where, you have a main character that gets transported into a different era, different world, that certainly was Inuyasha inspiration for me. Plus, yeah, it was really nice to have a compelling female lead character in Inuyasha. Okay, where am I? Where's my canvas? Here's a canvas. Okay. So I'm just probably only do headshots. Because I don't have much time. So I'm just gonna draw them next to each other. It's so weird when it's in black. Oh yeah, so also going back to the question, what is it like to work with editors? Well, it's always a huge help to have an editor, because if nothing else, you get to talk about your story with someone who can give you unbiased opinion. And many times I found it that when I'm struggling with story elements, sometimes I just need to talk about it. And while I'm talking about things, I immediately realize that I actually do know the answer. I just kind of had to talk about it. So there's that. Also, one very important thing our editors do is proofreading, which is crucial. You see, in a lot of webcomics, there will be typos, there are the lack of punctuation, and grammar is important. And good typos, good lettering. I really can't English anymore. Is very, very important, especially if you're planning to publish those books. Like, that's crucial. And our editors are doing an amazing job proofreading stuff. And it's especially important if you have creators who are non-native English speakers, like myself. I'm Hungarian, and although I do speak English fluently, or at least I'm trying, there are a lot of times when I need editorial help with my lines. They need to be refined, they need to be rephrased, because either I'm trying to use terms that are just translated from Hungarian and they are not really flying in English, or I'm just using phrases in a wrong way, or wrong grammar, mistyping things. I'm using if you do speak foreign language, you know that it's hard to do a foreign language perfectly. So for me, it is a very, 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 very important and crucial part that my editor, who's also my husband, so I got that going on for me, looks at all of my lines and refines them, and does his grammar Nazi magic on my lines. Of course, it can be kind of frustrating that I just want to submit my pages because it's deadline, and he's just sitting there thinking that whether we should use a comma there or not, and it requires research. I'm not taking punctuation that seriously, but our editors do, and that's just a really good thing. And it is very, very important. Also, editors are keeping tabs on the creators to make sure that they submit their content on time. They are meeting deadlines, they are making the progress. And yeah, in general, they help schedule, they help plan out story arcs, and yeah, they also provide as a communication channel between the creators and the core team, I guess, or Frederick, the CEO, because often the creators don't necessarily talk directly to the core team, but through their editors we get reports on where their stuff is, when can we expect them to submit something. Of course, it depends on the creators. Like, every creator has different methods to work on their stuff, and But yeah, we have a really, really great team for editors, and they are also proofreading the magazine, not just the series they are working on. So yeah, they are a huge, 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 huge help for creators. Too many guidelines here. uh, let's see. Where am I in the comments? Rohiga, thank you for your time. I have been watching for the past hour. It was very informative. Your art is amazing. Well, thank you very much for watching the stream. And I'm really happy you enjoyed it and maybe you learned something good. Right now, try Yvonne. Right now, crafting, no, creating my first manga. Yeah, by the way, it's just for fun. That's great, and not everyone is playing for publication. Doing something for fun is just as important. Roots. I tried making with my two friends once. One writer, didn't go so well. I was the artist. Well, collaborating with others is hard. It doesn't always go well, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. I had collaborations that just didn't work out. So yeah, it's never easy. Haruka Kamiyart. Oh, Inuyasha is also on with prettiest German anime. I know, right? Like, oh my god. I just think about the song and I'm getting the goosebumps. It's just so wonderful. Like, I legit was disappointed when I heard the Japanese opening for Inuyasha after the German version because I just so freaking much loved the German opening. It is just so good. Oh my god. Now I really want to listen to it. Yeah, it was really good. TED artist. Yeah, when it comes to getting things done on time, I pretty much suck. I do have a manga that I've been working on, but when managing my time, that is pretty much out of the window. Yeah, that is very hard, just as much as scheduling. Like, it is a huge help when you have someone to keep tabs on you with your deadlines and your tasks. Because I too suck at time management. Of course, this year I learned a lot of helpful things, especially since I had to manage time for my interns and make sure that we schedule things right for them. So that was crazy. But yeah, editors can be a huge help with that. So that's really, really good thing. I just don't know what it was because my guidelines are kind of disturbing here. I'm not too happy with her face here. Once again, this is just my rough sketch layer. So I probably will do more refining with my next one. At the same time, I have like 30 minutes to go, so this will be interesting. Wish me luck. Dragon. Oh, I'm a huge procrastinator. I so far have created over 10 stories and never drew them. I'm decent for my age, but when it comes to doing it always stops and I say I'm not good enough. Yeah, procrastination is always the enemy. And yeah, that is something I always keep saying, that whenever you want to do comics, you need to work more on discipline than on passion. Because, yeah, discipline can be your constant help. While passion and motivation can be delusional. I'm really not happy with Kagomei's face. And auto-saving, perfect. Okay, so the artisty. My first Japanese anime was Ranma, one half. Then it was Inuyasha. Oh yeah, the old classics. I also seen Ranma before Inuyasha. Although back then I didn't even know that it was from the same creator, so it was fun to realize it later on. I just realized that I never in my life drew Kagome before. I think I did drew Inuyasha like once in high school, but never Kagome. So now it is super weird to draw her. And she doesn't look like Kagome at all. But I'm gonna refine her eyes in my next sketch layer, so yeah. Driving, but right now I'm actually going to try to create a manga now and draw it, but it's not going to be an intense, maybe slice of life. Oh, that's fine. You know, slice of life can be just as good. Whatever you feel most interested in, I guess. GG 1954. Hello, just came by. Am I late? No, you're not late. We're still at it. Already finished 2 artworks. Not artworks, but sketches. I'm still working on this one, although we will have to end the stream in like 30 minutes. So, yeah. Her community art is so awesome that all the anime hits are now on Spotify. Oh my god, yes! Like, I've been listening to that playlist all day and... oh my god, such nostalgia. Clyde Carpatan, when will you be going back to traditional making? I'm missing that part of your work. Watching Saga, I mean the Ascend server, and being late to work, by the way. Well, I will be doing artworks traditionally for YouTube and, you know, maybe some commissions and things like that. But for the comic, I don't think that I will be going back to the traditional. I'm very used to digital now, and digital is cheaper, easier for me to do, especially when I'm away, like I'm in my mom's kitchen, and I don't have my traditional stuff with me. So for me, it was either digital or nothing. And yeah, I actually been really loving digital, so I don't think I will return to doing my pages traditionally anymore. So I'm sorry if that's a letdown for you. I made a video about this, where I explained why I did why I did can't English. Why I transitioned from traditional to digital. There I go. so yeah, it's, you know, it's been a long process for me, and at first I really didn't want to do it, but at the same time I realized that this is for the best, and now I just love digital. Is this the one between Yasha? Nope, that's the small one. That's the one between Yasha. There we go. So yeah. Natalie Albert. So how many co-founders does Saturday AM have? Also, I have been talking about you guys and your mission at my university and at my community college because people have been liking my story. Oh, that's great. That's nice. Well, currently in our core team, which is the team of the co-founders and co-owners of Saturday AM, there's 4 of us. Our CEO, Frederick L. Jones. There's White Manga, you know him. There's Raymond Brown, creator of Bleater, and there's me. And that is our co-founder team. We did have another co-founder, I think 2 co-founders when Saturday AM started out. Wally knew I can't pronounce his name properly. Wally Nguyen, who was the creator of Comatose, and Eric Michael Ella, who was the first artist for massively multiplayer Words of Gods. He also did Puzzbots. So they were part of the original founding team, but they left Saturday. I mean, the first and the second year, I think. So I came in to replace Wally as a co-owner in the company. Harukami Art also did you already take a look on Demon Slayer? Definitely one of the best animes from last season, if not from this year. Yeah, I did. I never finished the anime. I think we're about 8 episodes in. So yeah, I kind of stopped halfway. Like the last time I've seen an episode was in June, so pretty far behind. But it's definitely on the table. Like I really want to catch up with it. My goodness, initial eyes are so hard to draw. Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about it. Like it's kind of fun seeing all the hype around Demon Slayer. So yeah, I definitely want to check it out. I also read the first few chapters of the manga. The art style is interesting. So yeah, I probably will catch up on the manga sometimes in the future. Not anytime soon, that's for sure. Plus, the Shonen Jump app doesn't have all the chapters yet, so there's that waiting game too. So we shall see. But definitely want to catch up on the anime if nothing else. I have some comments in a language that I don't know. So I'm sorry. Dragon Demon Slayer is fire. Clyde Crapaton, typo error, Asian server. Oh, okay. Also, it is 6:40 here and work starts at 6. Holy Asian working habit. Oh, that's too bad. Well, I know this stream has an unfortunate timing for many of you guys, and I'm sorry about that. It's kind of hard to find a time that just works for everyone. Like, no matter what time I pick, there will be someone who just can't watch it. Because of work, because of school, because of sleep. It's never easy. Shoot, I need to shrink this. There's no room for the ears. And I need the ears. And you actually need his ears. Harukami art, you really have to... Episode 19 had godlike animation. Oh yeah, I actually seen parts of that clip. I tried to avoid it because I didn't want it to get spoiled, but it was everywhere on Twitter. So yeah, I've seen parts of it. And I really want to check out that episode later. Plus, you know, UFO table, so we're kind of very expecting godlike animation, I think. Like they really have incredible animation team, so yeah. That's a lot of hair. I didn't realize Nusha had so much hair. Glad Karapatan. I wish good fortune for Saigami Project on Saturday. Thank you very much. Thank you. Harakami art. Yeah, I catched up with the manga right after I finished the anime, and oh boy, it wasn't a waste to do. Oh, that's very exciting to hear. I heard that it's really good, so I'm looking forward to one day it will happen, catching up. I'm just gonna delete the necklace right now because this isn't even my refined sketch. Well, now I have like 50 minutes to go, so this will be interesting. um, Kat Karpatan. Patricia Vincent said, "You are live, I did not know earlier." Oh, thank you for translating. I'm not sure, what kind of language was that? The artistry. Well, when I first watched Inuyasha, I really wanted to do what Kagome did to his ears when he was pinned to the tree. I'm such a bad person. Yeah, well, when you see cat ears or dog's ears, you just want to touch them. Kat Karapatan, this is a proof that you have fans in the Philippines. Oh, thank you. So that was Filipino. Well, that's cool. I learned something today. Okay, I need to do something with Kagome's face. Because I really don't like how she looks. So I'm going to try and adjust her eyes a little bit. Yeah, so much about refined sketch layer, eh? I'm just winging it. It happens a lot of time actually, that especially ever since I started working digitally, that I'm just refining things in a messy way on my inking layer. Or in this case, it's not an inking layer, but my refining layer. Because it's just so easy to make adjustments and changes and erasing things. And that's so frigging relaxing, knowing that I can mess up and I will be able to correct things so I can play around as much as I want. She has a lot of highlights in her eyes. You know, it's kind of funny that, like I said, I used to be a fan of Inuyasha, and you probably can tell that it had inspiration on my works, but at the same time, the art never did. Like, never, ever. It's actually pretty hard for me to draw Inuyasha, so it's interesting. And it's especially funny because I know a handful of Hungarian creators, who are highly inspired by Inuyasha's art style. And for me, it was never there. Ooh, and I'm finally caught up with the comments. Awesome. I don't have too much time, so damn. I really, really wish I had more time. Although I never checked. I don't even know where my phone is. I wanted to check if maybe I have some more time, because it happens sometimes that we just delay our meetings a little bit. So I wonder if that's the case even now. But I honestly have no idea where my phone is. Okay. Like seriously, right now I'm having a mini heart attack. Because I know I did post. I don't want to drop it, right? I made a post before starting the stream on Instagram. And now my phone is gone. First world problems. Yeah, I'm still freaking out over my phone. Oh, found it. And yeah. Sorry. Yeah, no news about the meeting, so probably won't be delayed. That much. So I might not be able to finish up this artwork during the stream, but we shall see. I'm just gonna keep drawing until I receive the notification that, hey, you're supposed to be in this meeting. Because that's how it usually goes. I take my responsibilities very, very seriously. I actually always liked Kagumi's uniform, because it kind of has those Hungarian color palette with the red, white, and green. But at the same time, I never ever understood why the hell she's wearing it when she's going over the wall. Like, seriously, if you know that you're going back to medieval Japan, why the hell are you wearing your school uniform? Like, it's just beyond me. Like, why? I have so many questions. I'm gonna create a separate layer for Inuyasha. Let's see. Aldi Karma. Something Indonesia, Miss Andrea. So I guess that's an Indonesian comment that I don't understand, but hello. Clyde Carpatan, I'm sometimes watching your live videos whenever I have free times. This is like good morning vibes video. Oh, thank you, and I'm happy if it gives you good morning vibes. Sari Perez Monslave. Mansalve. Why I just already was hearing Inuyasha's OST. Adi Karma says, thanks morning from Indonesia, Miss Sandria. Well, thank you and good morning. Oh my god. We have some early birds here. Like, I have no idea what time it is in Indonesia right now, but I bet it's early. It's super early. And I'm just saving. Clip Studio has the worst timing skills ever. Ever. Yes, you can see I'm kind of rushing with these sketch lines here. Well, A, it's a sketch, so it doesn't necessarily need to be overly refined. But at the same time, yeah, I'm really worried that I won't be able to finish this one. But I'm surely I'm trying, so... Yeah, his eyebrows are black. Like, I never really understood that. Like, his hair is white, so why are his eyebrows black? It was always just so weird for me. Harakami art. His original hair color is black, more like in his human form. Oh yeah, there's that. Okay, I see your point. So I guess that explains why. So maybe he has human eyebrows. I absolutely forgot about his human form actually. Yeah, no, that was pretty cool. I really liked when he turned into human. It was always interesting to see him be in a more vulnerable state. Like I always like that. Whenever we have a kinda OP character and suddenly they find themselves in a situation when they are not OP anymore. not my best fan art. Yes, super, super, super rushed. And I know that I indeed was rushing with this, so yeah. But on the bright side, this is not the last time I'm drawing them because I still owe my Patreon supporters an Inuyasha print, so that will be happening eventually. Color the eyes in a little bit. Tea artist. Aside from watching you make amazing art, I'm also doing my own art for October. I post them on my Instagram page. Oh, that's great, and you know it's always fun when people are drawing together with me. Yeah, I knew it. Oh my god, flipping the canvas is always so heartbreaking when you realize that, yep, the eyes are off, the face is off, the hair is off, and everything is off. But like I said, this artwork was super, super rushed. So definitely not my A game here. I hope that despite it, you still enjoy these streams. Oh shoot, yeah. I need a separate layer for Kagome. Add a little bit more volume to her hair. Harukami art. Feel, but it's the best feeling when everything is right when by being flipped. I know, right? Like it's just so freaking awesome when you flip the canvas and my god, it looks right. How did that happen? Because usually it doesn't, and you know that sometimes it just happens, and oh my god, I always lose my mind at how. So yeah, it can be a wonderful feeling. Well, I'm basically done with this sketch. Not too proud of it, so I'm sorry for kind of rushing and butchering Inuyasha and Kegami here. But at the same time, I'm kind of impressed that I actually did finish this sketch, because I thought that I won't be able to finish it. And I did, so I guess I'm getting faster. Yay! Let's not talk about the quality, though. Let me just check. Yep, I can now see a notification. So now we will see if I still have a bit more time or not. Yeah, nope. We're starting in a few minutes, so I'm very sorry, but I will have to wrap this up. Because we are about to have a meeting with the crew of Saturday AM. And like I mentioned, I'm part of the core team, so yeah, I will have to go. But before I go, I would like to thank everyone who joined me for this stream. And don't forget that you can read my manga series Saigami at Saturday AM. You can read the first 3 chapters online for free. Links below. And if you like what you're reading, please consider getting the books. Volume 1 and Volume 2 are already available worldwide in print and ebook format. And also you can subscribe to Saturday AM. We have now a new subscription model which provides you with the premium content as well, which has a lot of perks and benefits, and both of our magazine with lots of amazing content. And our next issue will be out very, very soon, and it will be amazing. Like, I already seen the content, and it will be super. Also, Saigami will be returning very soonish in the magazine, probably 113, I think. I'm aiming for that. Plus, we will have new series debuting pretty soon. And also, if you would like to have more exclusive content from me, requests like this, private coaching, other artworks, behind the scene content, please consider to check out my Patreon. I have all sorts of perks and benefits, so please check it out. And yeah, you can find all of the links below in the video description or on my social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, that I don't really use, so mostly Instagram and Twitter, please. And yeah, I was having a lot of fun today. I did meet the goals that I was wanting to make, so yeah. Once again, thank you very much for being here with me today. I'm gonna take a last look at the comments, and then I'm gonna go and have fun at the meetings. I actually created a meme about our meetings that I might post in the community section of my YouTube channel. So if you're interested in that meme and about the meetings, check back in a few minutes and I will post that. And that will be just our little secret. Maybe as a reward that you've been here till the very end. So yeah, I'm gonna quit the stream now. So once again, thank you very much. I had a lot of fun, and I hope to do another stream very soon, and also that tablet review is coming next week. If you're a Patreon supporter, it's coming earlier for you. So yeah, thank you very much once again, and I see you in my next video.